Hook. What happens when the most controlling HOA Karen in a peaceful neighborhood decides to take revenge on a neighbor for a tiny mistake? Chaos, destruction, and a neighborhood on the edge await. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, life had always been calm. Families tended to their lawns, kids played on the sidewalks, and neighbors greeted each other warmly. But the peace was always fragile because of Karen, a notorious HOA member known for her strict enforcement of rules and a zero-tolerance approach to any infraction. Karen thrived on power. She monitored every lawn, every fence, and every car, and she wasn't afraid to confront anyone who stepped out of line. One sunny morning, a new neighbor named Mr. Thompson decided to raise the height of his backyard wall slightly to gain some privacy. "It's just a few extra inches," he told his wife Laura. "Nothing Karen will even notice." Unfortunately, Karen did notice. Peeking over the street from her window, she immediately spotted the new wall and felt a surge of anger. "This will not stand," she muttered, dialing the local construction company for a bulldozer without any warning to the Thompsons. By afternoon, the bulldozer arrived, and Karen personally supervised the demolition.
"What are you doing?"
"Make sure every brick comes down," she ordered,
Take that wall
pointing
down.
aggressively. Mr. Thompson ran outside. "Karen, wait, this isn't right. You can't just destroy my property." But Karen waved him off. "I'm protecting this neighborhood. That wall is illegal, and I have the authority." Neighbors came out of their homes, shocked. Mrs. Patel, who lived across the street, whispered to her husband, "I can't believe she's actually doing it. Look at the wall. It's barely taller than her fence." Children stopped playing, and Mr. Rivera from next door filmed the chaos on his phone, commenting, "This is insane. She can't just bulldoze someone's house." As the wall crumbled, debris flew, damaging part of the Thompsons' patio and garden. "Everything's ruined," cried Laura, trying to save potted plants. Karen ignored the cries and continued issuing orders to the bulldozer operator. Meanwhile, Tommy, a teenager from 2 houses down, shouted, "Karen, stop! You don't even have a legal notice." Karen, unbothered, turned toward him with a scowl. "Mind your own business, Tommy. This is neighborhood law enforcement, and I am the law." After the wall was leveled, neighbors gathered around Mr. Thompson, expressing their outrage. "This is unbelievable," said Mrs. Patel. "She's gone too far this time." Mr. Rivera added, "We need to do something legally. She can't keep ruling this neighborhood like a dictator." Mr. Thompson, overwhelmed by the destruction, decided to file a lawsuit. He called friends, neighbors, and even the HOA secretary who had long complained about Karen's extreme methods. As the days passed, the story spread throughout the neighborhood. Karen remained defiant, believing her actions were justified, while Mr. Thompson prepared a detailed legal case with statements, photographs, and witness accounts. The tension in the neighborhood grew. Families whispered about Karen's next move, some fearing she might target others, while others secretly celebrated that finally someone was challenging her unchecked authority. The stage was set for a legal battle that would test Karen's power, her accountability, and the resilience of a neighborhood determined to protect itself. By the end of Part 1, Mr. Thompson had filed his case, and the community stood behind him, waiting for justice to take its course, while Karen, for the first time, faced uncertainty, realizing that even her authority had limits and the consequences of her extreme actions were unavoidable. Hook. Can the infamous HOA Karen finally face justice for destroying a neighbor's property, or will her arrogance continue to wreak havoc? The courtroom showdown is about to reveal the truth. Weeks after the demolition of Mr. Thompson's backyard wall, the courtroom was packed. The neighbors had gathered to witness the showdown between Karen, the overbearing HOA member, and the devastated Thompson family. The judge called the case to order, and the tension was palpable. Mr. Thompson began, explaining how the wall was a minor addition for privacy and how Karen had acted without notice, destroying not only his property but also his sense of safety and peace. "Your Honor, she didn't just destroy bricks," he said, voice shaking. "She demolished a part of our lives, our garden, our patio, our sense of security, all gone in a few hours." The courtroom murmured in agreement. Several neighbors took the stand. Mrs. Patel described how Karen had previously intimidated residents over trivial issues. "We were afraid to speak up," she admitted. "But this incident was beyond anything we've ever seen. Karen crossed every line." Tommy, the teenager, who had shouted at Karen during the demolition, explained how he had witnessed her shouting orders to the bulldozer operator, forcing him to destroy the wall. "It was terrifying," he said. "She acted like she owned the neighborhood." Karen attempted to defend herself, raising her voice. "I was enforcing the rules. That wall was illegal. I am protecting the community's standards." The judge, unmoved, responded calmly, "Karen, enforcement does not give you the right to take the law into your own hands. Your actions were reckless and unjustified." Evidence was presented. Photos of the demolished wall, receipts for the damage, and messages showing Karen had made no attempt to contact the Thompsons before calling in the bulldozer. The courtroom gasped as the destruction was displayed on a large screen. Karen's face turned red, and for the first time she seemed unsure. After a lengthy hearing, the judge delivered the verdict. Karen was ordered to pay full restitution for the damages, covering repairs to the Thompson home, patio, and garden. She was suspended from all HOA duties for 6 months, preventing her from initiating unilateral actions. The courtroom erupted in a mixture of relief and applause from the neighbors. Karen, realizing her mistake, lowered her head. Later, in a mediated meeting with the Thompson family and several HOA members, she issued a formal apology. I acted without thinking," she said, her voice quivering. "I let my need for control cloud my judgment. I am truly sorry for the damage and the fear I caused." Mr. Thompson accepted the apology, saying, "Your acknowledgement means a lot. We hope this serves as a lesson for everyone, including you." Slowly, peace returned to the neighborhood. Residents restored the Thompson garden and rebuilt the wall, this time with full consent and communication. Humor returned as well, with playful warnings, "Better call Karen before any renovation," or "Measure twice, check with Karen once." Karen, humbled by the experience, began to respect HOA procedures and the rights of her neighbors. The neighborhood had learned an important lesson about accountability, fairness, and the dangers of unchecked power. Families felt safe once more, children played freely, and for the first time in years, the community truly thrived together. The saga of Karen's bulldozer tantrum became a story that everyone would recall for years, a cautionary tale of how power must always be tempered by responsibility, law, and empathy. The neighborhood had survived the storm, and Karen had survived her reckoning, leaving a lasting reminder that justice, patience, and community support can prevail even against the most controlling figures.